Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Moshua UK once again. So today I just wanted to talk about the some of the reasons why it is beneficial to plan our retirement back to Africa, the motherland. One of the reasons when I think the climate, the weather. You know, if you live abroad, for example, if you're living in America, if you're living in the UK, for example, in most those areas, there's always the weather keeps. Weather is a big like can be a big problem because it affects your mental health. For example, here in the UK during winter, like mainly it's very cold sometimes, and you just want to be indoors, and this can have effect in mental health, and also not having to get enough vitamin D, for example, compared to when you are in the motherland in Africa, you actually get enough of these vitamins. For example, vitamin D from direct. You don't need to have any tablets to, you know. So the weather is one thing that we should think about when returning back, like planning our retirement. And also because back at home in Africa, there is a lot, like the weather is actually always good, 365 days in a year, every day. Even if it rains and then the sun will come out, the weather is good most of the time, you know. So uh, another thing is that people are like more welcoming back in Africa. For example, I'm from Kenya, and in Kenya, you can actually just be walking. I believe in every part of Africa, you can actually just be walking down the road, and you meet someone, and you guys can just talk, and it's not like for example, it's not like in the diaspora, for example, in the UK. If you say hello to someone on the road, it's kind of weird. Someone like you look weird to do that. While back at home, you can just meet anyone, and like you guys can just be talking, and it's as if you've known each other for a very long time. So that freedom, just to be able to speak to people, and it also helps with the social life. That way you're able to make friends more easier, and yeah, like people are more outgoing, and people are not like judgmental of like what if this person does this or what. So people like are free to socialize with each other. When I came to the UK, first time, I just see everyone, like for example on the trains, everyone is just, even nowadays, everyone's just on their, like, minding their own business, which is not a bad thing, but like it's weird to saying people like greeting each other, talking to each other. Everyone's just on their phone, like no one cares what the other person is doing, which maybe it depends, like different cultures, different ways of behavior. So that's another reason that we can actually that actually motivates me to like invest in the motherland, as so then I can retire as soon as possible and be able to, you know just go and retire there and enjoy life. Another thing is the color of your skin. When you're in the diaspora, mostly there's racism sometimes. I'm not saying there's always racism, you know. And if you retire in the motherland, like you return back to your country, there's no one's just gonna judge you by color. No one's gonna judge you by color. You don't even have to think about color, because you fit in, and people you just blend in, and there's no racism in 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 the motherland. People love each other. So that's another reason for planning to retire in the mother. Another thing, like when planning to return to the motherland, is you open this. you kind of inspire other people. For example, your children or like people next to you, if they see that actually it can be done, because we've had that narratives where people say that it's not a good idea to return back to the motherland to want to retire in Africa. There's this fear. But when people see that actually this person is doing is able to return back and to invest in the motherland, like people become inspired and they also will be able to do the same. And I believe this way we help to also even promote our our countries, like in terms of like developments and in various ways. So you will be able to inspire our children, inspire the community to not be afraid to invest in the motherland, not to be afraid to trust people back in the motherland. Well, we with the issue of trust, sometimes we have to be careful because we all know the stories of trust, even trusting families to do things. But I believe if people can see that example, then they can be motivated to do things that will help them to relocate back in the motherland. Because so many people want to return, but the sad news, the news that they've heard in that makes them think why they should not return to the motherland. But if they can see example from me and you, then I think that we can help to change their mindset and to motivate them to do the same. You know, another thing that Another thing to retire in the motherland is the quality of life. For example, the food you eat. If you, like me, my idea is to be able to grow my own food, so you know where your food is coming from. The things that you're eating. The quality of life, uh, like you're more free to socialize. There's no, like, if you have investments in the motherland, you don't need to think about whether I need to pay bills. So you want to be able, like, for example, if you have your own borehole or you have your water tanks or you have a solar instead of electricity, like there's no bills to pay. Compared to in the west, there's so much, like, more, like a lot of things go into expenses, like bills in the house. By the time you end at the by the time you pay all the bills, you don't even have enough to be able to invest in the motherland or to even sustain yourself. So these things, if we just start early to invest in the motherland, then we can be able to, in the future, retire and live a quality life. And we don't want to retire when we are like 60. When I talk about retirement, I'm thinking of like 40s, early 50s, like late 40s, late 40s, early 40s, you see, mid 40s, things like that. Because I believe that no one should dictate to anyone that at this age is when we are meant to retire. I just want to encourage someone who is listening to me that it's possible. If we just have plans in place. Whatever it is, obviously, everything needs to be legal. Whatever you need to do to make sure that that dream that we have comes to pass. The dream of returning back to the motherland, investing. Obviously, we don't want to be just saying waking up one day and say I am leaving Europe or Canada or USA, whichever place you find yourself. Because if we do not have like foundations back in Africa and we move there, then we become a burden to other people that live there or those whom we are leaving behind in the West. So we want to be wise and we do not want to just rush things because at the end, that's why some people, they emotionally return back to to Africa without any plans, and they end up facing challenges which, if they prepared early, did research, did investments, and patiently wait, God willing, by the grace of God, and be able to establish something, then you're able live comfortably. Comfortably meaning depending on someone's life, like the way they live their life. So I just wanted to encourage someone that you're not alone. If you are planning to return and in the process of investing in the motherland, that your goal uh, is valid and you can do it. We can do it, and by the grace of God, it's possible. So I wish you all the best. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. What's your opinions? Thank you so much.